What's up, guys? When EA released the initial trailer for College Football 25, which releases this July, I made a video breaking it down and gave you guys my thoughts. So I'm here today to do that again with the new gameplay trailer called a deep dive that EA just released. We'll be going over the extensive EA gameplay blog post as well. Before watching this, I've been talking to a few unnamed sources inside of EA feeding me intel on the down low, and so far I've heard extremely good things about College Football 25. Everyone I've talked to, and these are sources I respect and trust who asked not to be named, has been praising the gameplay, game modes, and the overall responsiveness of this game. I've heard that Madden 25 isn't nearly as good, however, as that game is still being released for the PS4 and Xbox One generation, which is apparently holding EA back a bit. Since College Football 25 is releasing only on next-gen consoles, they have more freedom to work with, along with no league like the NCAA or NFL directing them around. It's not a reskin, although it does reuse assets and some animations for Madden, but again, this is not a reskin. There is a lot of new here, as you'll see in this video. We just need to hope it all plays as good as it sounds. I know a lot of you are feeling pessimistic, but I think you can relax. All signs point towards this college game being good. And while we found out there won't be mascot mode, high school and road to glory, or ESPN presentation, I think the game can easily still be great despite those omissions, as long as gameplay is good, presentation is good, and the game modes are deep and work smoothly. And I've heard good things about all three. Remember, I'm the guy who is never hyped for Madden because I expect it to be garbage in bare minimum every year due to a lack of competition and my own lack of faith in EA. But I feel different with this college game, and I think you should too. EA hired guys from the College Football Revamped team, old members of the NCAA 14 team, and even former 2K devs to help work on this title. I've been hearing too many good things, and I really do think we are going to get the best football game in at least the last 10 years. But I'll need to play it myself to know for sure. If the game does suck and disappoints at launch, I will rightfully bash it. I just don't think that's going to be the case here. Without further ado, here's EA's gameplay deep dive. Let's see if gameplay looks as good as I've heard. That's a fast spin move. If you've played any Madden since 19, you've probably been annoyed that players spin very slowly, basically ruining the spin move. Here, it looks right. It's quick and effective. I keep hearing that the college football gameplay is a lot faster and more fluid than Madden's has been. The first clip lines up with that. I will say, looking past the end zone here, those guys standing around don't look great. Also, notice the star under Ollie Gordon. Superstar abilities are in this game, similar to Madden, but there are no X factors. I think that's a good thing. Also notice the new scoreboard. We should get a better view of it later on without the E for everyone thing in a minute. Let's keep going. Here's the scoreboard unobstructed. First, it's at the bottom, thank God. In Madden, since Madden 12, the scoreboard has been up top, despite real-life broadcasts all having the scoreboard, or you can call it a score bug, both are correct, on the bottom. Now, this game does not have ESPN presentation unlike NCAA Football 14, but for a generic scoreboard, this one looks pretty good. Remember, here's what Madden 24's scoreboard looks like. It's terrible. This one resembles a late 2010s to early 2020s NBC scoreboard. You get the school name, team name below it, the rank of the team if they're ranked, the logo, accurate colors for the school, etc. In the middle, you have that black divider with the quarter, time remaining, play clock, down and distance, and spot on the field. I like this scoreboard. For a generic one, I don't think you can do much better. It looks modern, it's in the right spot, it has all the information you'd want, hell yeah. You may be wondering about a bottom ticker. Apparently, in Dynasty mode, you'll see a bottom ticker occasionally showing scores and stats from other games. Of course, I need to see that with my own eyes to confirm, but that's what I've heard. While we are on this screen, look at the offensive line. 2 double teams, every lineman is doing something. Nothing stands out here like you would see in Madden 24 that screams bad blocking. It checks out. Geez, that's a cool hurdle animation. Reminds me of Saquon's against the Bears that one time. Madden 24 doesn't do that. I just let that play for a bit so you guys could hear about this new wear and tear system. I like the concept, but the execution needs to be good here. If your players are always hurt, or your stars never play like stars because they are nearly always fatigued, that's going to suck. In Madden 24, the game has serious issues with fatigue. If you have progressive fatigue on, by the end of the season all your starters are dead and your backups play instead, which is just weird and annoying, so most people turn that off in franchise mode. So hopefully the college team here did a much better job and the system is forgiving. You'll probably want to slide to avoid hits with a QB or throw the ball away rather than take a sack from a free pass rusher. I hope running backs can handle a full workload. I can already imagine most people online targeting your top guys like Greg Williams on the 09 Saints, so again, I hope it's tuned properly and doesn't ruin the fun. If a freshman QB with a low rating plays a defense like Georgia, I'm on board with the wear and tear knocking him out of the game if he takes a few big hits. It makes sense. But if I have a stud QB with experience, I hope there are abilities that help slow down the wear and tear system. This is one feature I've seen that is going to be hit or miss. Hopefully it's a hit, but time will tell. Here are all the abilities, or at least most of them. A lot of these are new and not found in Madden, such as Fan Favorite or Off-Platform. Feel free to pause and read them all if you care. The important thing here is no X factors, so unlike in Madden, you won't be able to unlock more arm strength or throwing distance after completing consecutive passes. I never thought that made any sense in a simulation football game, so I'm glad this game only has abilities and nothing insanely cheesy. Notice that meter from Ewers throwing the ball. Seems like new passing mechanics. I'm sure the video will cover that soon. New kick meter, finally! Just changing up something as simple as kicking will make the game feel fresher and less like the past 7 or so years of Madden. There it is. Physical abilities can provide protection from wear and tear. That sounds like it's going to be very, very important. So you need the headstrong ability on your QB to play well on the road. I'm sure you can still play well enough with user skill regardless, but headstrong should make that easier. Seems pretty standard for an ability. Here's the play selection screen. You have coach suggestions, player-specific plays, formations, concepts, play type, personnel favorites, and recent, so it's identical to Madden 24. What's different from Madden, however, is the little window on the top left, which reminds me of NFL 2K5's play selection screen. Showing your players in the top right is interesting too. Hopefully as the games go on, that screen also shows stats. We have an error here. Notice how it says Texas under Ollie Gordon. He does not play for Texas. Hopefully those little oversights are fixed by launch, but you never know. Prove me wrong, EA. The Stadium Pulse feature is straight out of NCAA Football 06, and that's my favorite college football game ever, so hell yeah. There's that annoying high snap animation from Madden. There are obviously going to be reused animations from Madden, but again, this game has too much new in it to be a reskin. I just wanted to point out that repetitive animation though. I don't like that knockout. If the ball hits a guy in the hands and he has the inside advantage, he should catch it. That's an issue with Madden that I hope is not as frequent here. This is the team selection screen and it looks dope. I really like the overall aesthetic of this game so far. While it doesn't have the ESPN license, it doesn't look generic and the presentation seems to have a lot of care and passion put into it. Here are some interesting coach adjustments. I'm curious about the deep pass catching and intermediate pass catching options and what they do exactly. I also like the game summary on the top right. So yeah, it seems like the top left will show replays or stadium shots, while the top right shows stats, player ratings, abilities, things like that. It's clean. I like how you can pitch the ball while getting hit. EA has come a long way since Madden 20 when you couldn't even throw out of a sack. This game appears to have faster animation branching, or maybe even more physics-based gameplay from these clips. Notice how you'll rarely see a player stuck in an animation waiting for it to play out. Everything seems faster and more natural than Madden 24. I like seeing number 3 continue attempting to block down the field. The blocking AI looks much better than Madden 24's. Revamped passing. Now this is what I'm most curious about. There it is, fellas. For the first time ever, in an EA-developed football game, you can throw high-arcing, Russell Wilson-esque passes that drop in a bucket where only the receiver can catch it. Madden has literally never had this, while the old 2K football games did. That changes everything. This game might actually be the most simulation-based EA has ever made. In Madden, nearly every pass can get swatted, so I love the fact that this trailer is showing multiple examples of being able to throw passes where only the receiver can possibly make a play. In the past, EA has claimed to fix ball trajectory, I'm well aware of that, but instead of allowing beautiful bucket passes like that, they would simply nerf the jumping abilities of linebackers and defensive backs. This looks like a real change to ball trajectory for the first time ever. See, that right there is why this game is not a Madden 24 reskin. From my sources inside of EA, this lives up to the hype when playing the game too. I'm not even sure if Madden 25 will have this feature, but from what I understand, this college game is ahead of Madden 25 at this point in time. But this is something a lot of people might not think about too much watching this trailer, but in my opinion, it can make this game 100 times more enjoyable than Madden, as someone who loves to throw deep. The new switch stick with post-snap control on defense? That also seems like a game changer. Think about how often in Madden you get killed by your defenders sitting stubbornly in a zone while your opponent runs drag after drag. We all have that one friend who basically only runs mesh and they're extremely annoying to play. If you can use the right stick to shift your defense or have the DBs expand or move from their zones more quickly and actually control the players you aren't controlling, that's going to be huge. Again, more evidence that this is not just a Madden 24 reskin. Of course, I'm going to need to play this game myself to really judge this feature, but it sounds great in theory, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, that's it for EA's deep dive video. Let's go check out EA's blog post now and see if there's anything there not covered here. From that trailer, however, this game to me clearly looks like something new and fresh and not a Madden 24 reskin. I saw some things I don't like, such as knockouts and a few annoying Madden animations carried over, but the new gameplay features, the new animations, the presentation, the faster, quicker branching animations and physics should make up for all of that. Madden 24's gameplay has a lot of issues, don't get me wrong, but it is also better than anything EA has put out since Madden 17 or 18. College Football 25 should be better than anything EA has ever done, which might sound like extreme praise, but remember, I'm a 2K football guy who always found EA football, even in its prime, to be more arcade than simulation. But again, I need to play it myself to actually confirm that. This is not a review, these are my initial reactions to this trailer. According to this blog post, EA's focus is on making every player feel unique, making sure every team feels authentic to their actual real-life schemes, and making sure players play like humans, so freshmen might feel more emotion and play worse in huge games versus seniors. Their main goal is wide-open gameplay, which sounds great and very unlike Madden. Of course, I need to play it myself to know how true that is because you can just say anything when marketing a game. There's more information on the wear and tear system here. Luckily, it doesn't seem to apply to linemen and your QB as much as other positions, as subbing out linemen every other play would be weird. Players might miss a few plays to recover, and I like how players are expected to tough it out in the fourth quarter. You want your studs on the field when it matters most, even if they are on the verge of collapsing. Again, for this system to work, it needs to be forgiving enough to keep the game fun. No one wants to play with backups most of the game. I will need to test it myself to judge it. Defense seems to have gotten some much needed work coming from Madden 24. In NCAA 14, the option was overpowered. Hopefully this new read and pitch key system helps balance the game so it plays more like NCAA football 13. I also like how you can more cleverly disguise your coverages. In Madden 24, it's way too easy to figure out what defense your opponent is running pre-snap. There are 80 abilities, and here's a look at the player card system. No player can have more than 5 physical abilities and 3 mental abilities, and abilities are ranked by tiers, specifically bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. It seems like the tiers apply to any of the 80 abilities. So for example, you can have the field general ability, but if it's only bronze, you only see highlighted blitzers post-snap, where if it's platinum, you'll be able to see disguised shells and coverages pre-snap. So each ability has levels to it you progress through from an individual player perspective. This should make player progression more in-depth than ever before in Dynasty mode, if it all works properly and is tuned well. Here's more confirmation that NCAA Football 06 helped inspire the return of Stadium Pulse. EA respecting the past great football games rather than stubbornly acting like the old classics weren't that good? Remember when Rex Dixon said they don't pay any attention to anyone who still talks about games like 2K5 back in the Madden 19 era? It seems like those days are gone, and EA has been rightfully humbled. Here's some more information on the revamped passing. It really does seem like this feature is going to change the passing game for the better, as throwing your guys open, where only they can catch it, seems to be the focus here, and that's something EA Sports football games have never really had. This sounds very 2K football-like, which is awesome. I was told former 2K football devs are part of the team, and this feels like confirmation. Even NCAA Football 14 had poor ball trajectory, with linebackers intercepting passes they shouldn't, so this will be really nice, if it plays as well as it sounds. The switch stick on defense has more context here. Using the stick will automatically switch you to the closest defensive back you move your stick towards, so you're still manually controlling guys, but you can more easily and more quickly switch defenders. Even guys on the opposite side of the field you would normally have to make a couple button presses to get to. User lurking should be a lot of fun, and cheesy offensive plays should hopefully be less common and easier to stop. Instead of blaming the game's AI, hopefully we will have no one to blame but ourselves. For online gameplay, keeping the game skill-based and removing as much RNG as possible is a good thing. Playbooks are overhauled, and something that makes Madden feel repetitive to me year after year is that the games are full of essentially the same playbooks. This game should feel very fresh, with a bunch of new formations and plays we've never seen in a football game. Real-time coaching was not in the trailer, but it sounds really interesting. This improved AI almost sounds like 2K Football's old VIP system, where different coaches would call plays differently and react to situations differently. Hopefully this makes CPU games more enjoyable. For the last 5 to 10 years, it felt like Madden was so focused on online competitive gameplay and Ultimate Team that they completely ignored CPU AI for offline players. I'm hoping the real-time coaching system makes CPU teams feel more realistic and challenging to play. We have more in-depth information on offensive line and defensive line play as well. It seems like the blocking AI and user control pre-snap is much better than in Madden 24. Finally, victory formation. I've been asking for this, as in Madden, when you take a knee, you have to sit there and wait for the clock to run out, while all the players just stand around. Not here. In College Football 25, if you take a knee that should end the game, instead of waiting around, the game actually ends as the players run onto the field like you would see on TV. These little things are huge and more evidence that this is not a Madden 24 reskin. Honestly, I've been covering Madden since 19 on this channel, and following these games for much longer than that, and this is the most in-depth breakdown EA has ever shown for gameplay of a football game. The more information that comes out for this game, the more promising it all sounds. From the heavy 2K Football influence to improved presentation and the quicker branching animations and physics, so far I don't see how you can't be feeling positive about this game. If College Football 25 releases and does disappoint, and all of this marketing is just fluff and it plays like Madden 24, I will let you guys know in my review. I have no affiliation with EA, and I have and will rip them to shreds if I feel like it. Since I'm not a game changer, I have no bridge to burn, so I can say whatever the hell I want without consequence. So trust me, I will let you guys know the truth. But I really feel like this game will be different. The vision seems much better than it ever has at EA. Time will tell, however. I'd recommend waiting for my review, or the reviews of others you trust, before buying. Pre-ordering games is a bad idea, as I said in the last breakdown, regardless of how hyped you are. Anyways, thanks for watching.